Oh. All right, guys. Hi, everybody. Can you hear me and see my screen? I'm kind of having some problems with OBS at the moment. Okay. This is interesting. Yeah, I have new monitors, so I'm just trying to sync to them. I believe it's working fine in YouTube. And how is everything over? Everything good on Discord? Yes, all good. Okay. Yeah, Dan, I think it's all good on YouTube as well. It looks like it. Yeah, I think we're good to go here. Okay. Yeah, odd behavior in OBS, but it's working. So let's go. All right, welcome everybody to the All Markets webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap. We'll kick off the week here after the Labor Day holiday here in the US and take a look at the order flow. We're down for the day, as you'll see in just a second. And our job in here is to read the order flow, understand what's happening with the participants in the auction process, and then from that, we'll understand where the price might go next. Once we start to understand the footprints in the sand of the actions of the other traders, then we can extrapolate that to other time frames and start to understand where price might be going. Risk disclosure or general disclosure: all Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, and just to let you guys know as well, please verify your subscription today. You can use a QR code with your phone, take a screenshot here. This will be required now over in Discord. We're building up our Discord, offering really nice membership over in our Discord area. It is free, okay, or there's no charge. All you need to do is have a free version of Bookmap, as simple as that. There's all sorts of reasons why we want to do this. We want to be able to offer higher tier service over in our Discord and kind of galvanize our community. At least you'll have a free version of Bookmap to play around with it and understand what we're doing, what we're looking at, etc. With that version of Bookmap, it also you've taken a step toward building the community better at a much deeper level, just because there's a lot of people that will go in, just check it out, leave, maybe even use some really bad behavior in there, and we don't need it. We have a great community. It's filled with all sorts of very supportive people and excellent traders. If you want to just take a look, for example, over at our Bookmap Academy, and take a look at the content over there. Let me just show you here. You can just go to our Discord community and then just take a look in here. I mean, like scroll through, look at some of this content in here. It's awesome. These guys are doing really great work in here, and they're getting feedback. They're getting coaching, mentorship from this feedback or from their imagery in here and their markups, their chart markups. It can only help, right? So if you want to take advantage of that, you can sign up for the Bookmap Academy and come over to the community. Okay, if you're interested in that, let me show you where you go. Go to bookmap.com, click on the More button here, and then under Community, Bookmap Academy, and you can sign up here. You can read about it. You can get Bookmap for free as step 2 in the process. All right, so anyway, let's move on and let's take a look at these markets. We are down for the day, as you can see, and I'm going to jump over to the TraderMap Lite or TraderMap Pro version here, and we get a little bit better insight on the liquidity in here. This was something we want to cover immediately in here. All right, and before I do, and we would anticipate there to be some sort of like a reversal right around this time, or potential at least pullbacks, right, like we're seeing right now. So this is the first stop or here, or this high liquidity, so kind of in this zone in here. Now we might come all the way back up to VWAP, or where it dropped from here, where we see that there was a little bit of data that came out this morning at 10 a.m. on the ISM manufacturing PMI. Right, you can see how the liquidity dried up in here. We see the move to the downside. Okay, regardless of the number, that is the reaction from the market participants. Leg 1, pullback. Leg 2. Right, high liquidity on the bid here. We've gone through the figure here at 5,600, and probably have a lot of people going short. Well, let's see if we can get a squeeze going to the upside here. Okay. All right. Anyway, let's zoom out and you can take a look at. I want to take a look at the bigger time frame here. Just a second. I'll look at our candlestick charts, right, and start to understand them a little bit better. Here's the daily over here. Look where we opened here. We went up above, just kind of touched the highs here from these recent days, and then sold off pretty hard. Okay, so cash open, you can see it right here. It opened already like at the midpoint, basically down in here someplace, and we see the momentum here on 2 of the hourly candles. Okay, and then here it is on the 15-minute chart. Look at this beautiful flag pattern in here. Beautiful. Okay, so you know, big move to the downside, chops around for a little bit, and another big move to the downside. Okay, and this happened at 9 o'clock. Basically, you can see that a little bit back and forth here. 9:30, retested back here again. No buyers, lack of buyers. We'll see. Maybe high liquidity filled. And then sellers come in and move it pretty hard. Now, where have we gone here? And we're going to go over our opening drive move here and understand how this is a pretty easy read to trade this back down into some of these swings in here. You know, somewhere around in here. I mean, you can look at the swing right here. This would be at 56.09. There's other swings down in here, 03. You can just target the figure with 5,600, and then you can see that a little bit weaker though, a lot of momentum in here. We've gone down below this previous swing here and back in August, and then you can see that we're starting to see some buyers come in, or some covering right now with the wick that we see. You can see the same wick here, right? But this is the momentum, this is the move, this is the opening drive. Okay, so now let's take a look at Bookmap, and we'll jump over to the we'll look at the TraderMap Lite in here, I think. Now I don't have a whole bunch of data on TraderMap Lite, but anyway, you can see the move into and through high liquidity. This is exactly the swing we just looked at right here. There's the move through it. Here's the pullback to where it broke from and dropped here. And look at it again, more sellers, pretty big selling in here. Okay, look at the bars down here as well. Look at the size and color of the dots. Look at the pullbacks in here. this is how you can start to read and put together your plan on a pullback. It's pretty straightforward. Now we see buyers, curls back over, sellers. There's high liquidity up in here as well at this lower level. The sellers take it down into high liquidity here and here. It went a little bit lower here. We get another barrage of buying that comes back in. Look at the buying though. Okay, so let me bring up our drawing tool here for just a second. Look at the buying here. Okay, and look at the selling here and all in here. Okay, again, selling in here. Now, buying, look at that pocket of buying coming in. Okay, still sellers in control, still moving it. Right. Now, it's, I don't know how you guys feel. This looks like a very easy read to me in this move down. The sellers are dominant. There's momentum to the downside. Okay, we start to see in a reversal for it to take place. What we're looking for is these pockets of buying to start to come back in. It's just a little bit here. Now it's not bad, but it's. I mean, look at the bars. Look at the dots in color. Is still dominant here on the sell side. Okay? And again, more sellers just coming in right now. Okay? So let's see if they can take it down into this high liquidity here at 85. Okay, looks pretty good. Let's see. Okay, and maybe a little bit through. But let's jump back. Let's look at our higher time frame. Right. So where are we going with this? Well, maybe the next target is down here with 80, 81, or maybe even 78 here. Okay, a lot of momentum here. Right. We're going with the momentum. Okay. When a reversal starts to unfold, there's many things we start to look for. They can be tricky. Let's just go through the checklist really quickly here. But first thing is to see high liquidity filled on the bid on the way down. Then we start to note the slope and not just the angle of the move here, but we also start to look at the length of the move. Okay, so look how this move here, this drop here, is, let's just pick it up and move it over. Okay, well, you can see it, you know, I mean, this is where it dropped from here. And it's a little bit more shallow. It's still, so we still understand that there's a lot of momentum here to the downside. But we're starting to note also these pockets of buyers here, and then starting to here. Now we're just noticing though. Another thing we want to note is are they able to break structure? And the answer is no. So here's the swing here, or even up to here, I would say looks pretty good. And you can see that there's buyers. They fail to lift it up into even this liquidity up here, which would still be bearish. But they fail to lift it. So we see the sellers roll back in, and we continue with the move to the downside. All right, let me get to some questions in here. I've just been off on a rant here in the morning, and we'll take a quick look here. And I wanted to cover this in some detail, guys, because I need to actually leave early. There's Jay Trader is downtown New York here, so we're doing an on-site presentation down with his group. Right, so looking forward to that. Yep, good morning, everybody. All right, let's see here. Yep, textbook. Caesar, you're talking about this move to the downside. Yeah, agreed. Now, again, market timing. Guys, we've been talking about this. We've been talking about the opening drive. Let's take a look here, okay? So first off, we're opening way down here. We still see that there's selling pressure. These would be the first areas to start to look at, some of these swings down in here. Okay, all the way down here as well. This kind of zone in here on the hourly. And then look at the daily here. So here's the around 93 or 94 here, the swing on the daily. So we've gone below it now, as you can see. But how much more momentum do we have? How much more selling pressure do we have? This is a big red candle. Okay? So we're starting to look for areas in here for the buyers to start to come in and the sellers to start to exit. Okay, for them to buy it back. And then where might it go? Well, boy, these are strong moves, but maybe back up to the figure 5603 here, where we see a small little swing right in here. Okay, we can look here as well. This 94 area looks pretty good, somewhere around in here. Okay, so now how do we relate that to Bookmap? Just go back and we take a look here. Okay, so how's our 94 area? Well, it's right here. Not bad, not bad. This is where the sellers came in and dropped from. Okay, so let's see if we can see these buyers come back in and try to reach that. Okay, now let's look at some other things in here. We again noted on the way down, lots of liquidity getting filled. Strong move, no doubt. Okay, but the time of day is starting to change and shift. And we can also look at some smaller structure starting to break here. Okay, there's bigger structure in this downtrend. It's a strong downtrend. Okay, but we want to look at the smaller structure. Obviously, that will be breaking first. We're back up to 92-ish, about 92. Let's see if we can get back up to 94 here. I'm looking at the ES here. This is actually Bookmap data. That shouldn't matter though if you're looking at Rhythmic or Bookmap data or DX feed. But I'm looking at the TraderMap Lite version in here. That will only work with Bookmap data or Rhythmic. Okay, so we're looking at market by order data. This is free. If you have the MBO bundle though, then you could also use, in addition, you could use the TraderMap Pro version here. As you can see, it creates a synthetic instrument off of it. And here's why we do it, because look at this algo band around price. All right, so kiloton, that's why. So just go to the add-ons configuration in here and scroll down. If you don't see it in here, just go to add-ons manager. If you don't see it, you should see it down in here someplace, and you can install it. All right. All right, guys, well, let's see. We're still looking to see if those buyers can come back in. Now, again, we know we're in a big downtrend, but where is it? We're on the TraderMap Lite version. Yeah, we're looking for a move back to about this 94 swing here. Okay, now this is starting to match as well with time of day. And we've talked about time of day for the last couple of weeks, integrating that a lot more into this webinar. Okay, we'll cover more and more about time of day, and yeah, there's a separate thread for it by D&T Matter. Put that together for us. Thank you. In the Bookmap Academy room. Now, guys, look, see, this is where we drop from here. Okay, 94 is up here at the swing, this swing here. Now we might come up, we might even come to where it really dropped from up here, right? That'd be 96. This is really the first stops though. Like here, you can see it already tested here. And then here, another one. And just look at the market structure. Okay, you can draw a line across there, right here, or even here. You know, there's a couple. But this is where we can look for some of these pullbacks to come to. Okay, now we're getting our move to 94, which is here. Okay, and then we have another one up here. Said about 96. It's really 97. Right, here they come. All right, so we were looking for this. Now that behavior is starting to unfold. All right, now this is again a very big, strong move to the downside. Look at the buyers in here compared to the sellers. So I like to, because of that, I like to take some profits along the way. Maybe even get all in, all out, depending on what we see in here in the order. Okay, because they are bidding up. There's a pretty strong bid underneath here, and you can see it, right? And they're bidding at a higher level. However, taking some profits on a counter trend trade is a good idea a lot of the time. Okay? You'll have to kind of do your own studying and back testing on that because it really varies, and it's going to depend on a lot of different factors. Okay, like how much liquidity is filled on the way down. How are the buyers compared to the sellers over here? Sometimes you just see massive buying compared to the selling here. What about stop runs? And let's take a look at the stop run here. Well, here's our big stop run here. Here it taps again and it dries up. There's very little stops down here. This is looking great then, right? This is how you can start to integrate this kind of information. We look for this move into 85. We got it. And then we know now this is a stop run here. And then there's like the market tested lower and hit very few stops. Okay, what does that mean in here? It basically means that it's essentially it's exhausted. I have to be careful with that. The terminology is not correct, but there's just no more sellers. Okay, no one's selling down here. All right, so we're going to find some buyers and they're going to move it back into some of these areas to retest the auction. Okay, this one looks the best up here. You know, this is a really low volume node up here, or just means that, you know, price went through here very quickly and not much traded here. Okay? So maybe you took some profits. Maybe if you see some buyers come back in here again, you reload and look for a move back up into 98 to 5600. Okay? It's again, these can be very tricky in here, but that's what we're watching for and looking for here. Okay, right. So here we go. They're, you know, just on cue here. You know, you can consider reloading back in here and looking for the move back up into this 98 to 5600. All right. Now again, we have a lot of things in here, and we can put together a pretty easily. We can put together a checklist. Okay, I'm not going to do it here, but I showed you guys last time how to do it in the setups checklist here. Okay, it's a really nice tool to be able to use for this, just so you have it and you can grade it in here. This is what we did for a choppy environment in here last session. But the checklist for this one would be different. Momentum to the downside, time of day opening drive, then we're watching high liquidity. We're looking for when the pockets of buying come in, if structure starts to break, and then we can also utilize the stop run into this area here as well. Okay, and then we can start to look for getting involved when the buyers start to come back in, break the structure, and then start to target some of these areas in here. And we said 94, and then our 97 up here, but maybe we can get even a little higher up into this kind of 5600. You know, the auction didn't, you know, there wasn't a whole lot that happened here. So, you know, price can be very attracted back to these areas in here. Right. Oh, let's see here on YouTube. Oh boy. Did I? Okay. Yeah, we're good. Okay. All right. All right, guys. Unfortunately, I've got to run. So we'll have to. Today's Tuesday already, so I'll be back on Friday, and we'll see you then. Okay. So sorry about this, guys. I mean, at least we covered pretty well, this opening drive and the potential reversal right around this time as well. Okay, so and then if you were looking for that move higher after and getting back in these areas in here, tight stop on this kind of stuff. You can be very, very tricky. Okay, so don't get caught up into it. Don't add into these kinds of trades or anything like that. It's either, you know, you try to let it run and you move your stop up and take either a small loss or break even, or you take your profits along the way, and then you just look for the next one. All right. All right, guys. Yeah, thanks so much. We will wrap it up, and we'll see you on Friday. Yeah, hit the like button if you can, please. That always helps us out. And come over to that Bookmap Academy, or I'm sorry, the Bookmap Discord. You can take a look at the Academy as well if you're looking for coaching and mentoring that we do on Thursdays. Thanks for coming, everybody. We'll catch you on Friday.